Hey, good afternoon, guys. Well, I hope you guys are okay as far as your retirements are concerned, your 401ks and whatever you have. Um, I haven't looked at my stuff. I'm a little afraid to. Not much I can do about it anyway. Um, but yeah, once I do, I may post it. I hope I hope there are Republicans out there that can see, at least some of you can see what's going on. Um, or at least feel the effects and know that it's not coming from the other sides for a change. And I'm not saying this to whatever. I'm just, we need to start pushing them out. You know, I don't mean like Democrats, Republicans, Independents, whatever. Even if you've never voted before and you're now feeling this when you do register. You know, we gotta, however we can. You know, if you will never vote out a Republican, then replace that Republican with somebody who's going to step up. You know, be that Republican that's going to step up. You know, if you can't join the other side, be the change. You know, and then that being said, for everybody, it's time to step up. You know, you have to see that there's better ways than just setting everything on fire and just seeing what happens. This is what happens, and we're just in the beginning. It's, you know, I mean, this ain't going away anytime soon. In fact, it's we, the people that are my age, you know, our retirements, we're probably gonna have to say, oh well, and we'll be back to the. Because I remember when I was a kid, you know, they were trying to push for uh, improvements to Social Security and things like that because people were eating cat food. You know, they were eating garbage to survive, having their medications. I do that now. Well, I don't eat garbage, but I have my medication. I can't afford it. You know, it's ridiculous. And now a lot of our prescriptions are going up. You know, we have to do the change. You know, that's why I'm running the way I am. You know, I'm in Arkansas. These people will never ever vote for a Democrat. It'll not happen. A lot of them won't. So that's why I'm running the way I am. I'm running under no party, just me. You know, that's how much I feel we need to come together and make the change. You know, I'm tired of the Democrats too. I'm tired of the Republicans. I'm tired of all of it. They all lie. They all scheme and freaking wiggle around. Gotta stop that. We gotta have consequences for those type of actions. You know, we have to have consequences for lies and outright deceit and dishonesty. It's got to be that way. You know, when politicians go on the news, they can't just say whatever they want just to get a vote. That needs to be illegal. You know, these people get called out, but yet, if you don't see it because you're not watching, because they've brainwashed you into, you know, not looking at whatever, you will never ever see what's happening. Like in this state in particular, Democrats are not in charge here. You know, there's not many in this entire state. You know, both House and Senate. You know, I want to say there's like 15, maybe 20 at the most. 8 of them are kind of near me, and that's, I mean, within an hour and a half. No, 4 hours is one, but the rest are within about an hour and a half. That's crazy. You know, that people are able to get the right information just because they won't turn their head a little bit. You know, I suppose that's another thing we have to do too, is we need to hold our news accountable as well. You know, if they won't do it, then we need to force them to. You know, look what's happened because of it. You know, when you're fed a constant diet of lies and bullshit. You know, this is what you get. You know, we are in a global economic crash. And I know some people are saying, yeah, burn it all down. But you know, not everybody can survive like you can. For you, burn it all down, people. Not everyone's a preppers. Many of you guys probably don't even give a fuck. You know, let these people die. Fuck you. They don't care. But I don't want to believe that. You know, nah, that doesn't make any sense. You know, I beg and plead with you guys to maybe just turn off the news. Just try to detox yourself that way. You know, whatever it takes, because like even Fox News pulled their ticker out because Trump was getting so embarrassed by the crashing market always in the news while people are trying to say all the good things he's doing, which he's not. So that's, you know, for them to do that, that's huge. We got the push. We got to push, guys. Got to keep going. I was at Fayetteville for the protest there. The turnout was incredible. Blown away by how many people showed up, especially because it was a rainy, cold, really just bad crap day. But the energy was great. We overcame that. You know, people were still having fun, and you know, I had to give my voice a rest there for a couple of days because I couldn't talk. But we got to start standing up together. You know, whatever your differences were with your neighbors, you need to fix that. Or whatever, just ignore it, put it on hold, and let's still stand together and help each other out. You know, and get these people out of office, get them out of our country. Get them out of office while we can. Because they're doing everything they can to make it difficult for us. You know, they're trying to make it so women can't even vote because their names don't match their birth certificates. That's 70 million women. All right? That's a big ass number. And can you imagine if those people couldn't vote? I'd lose my mind if my wife couldn't vote. She would too. We can't let that happen. So let's get together and take our shit back from them. Okay? Help me do it. Thank you guys. I hope you have a good day.